Good morning. It's time for another fleet update, or update on the driving distilled fleet, or the driving distilled garage, or something like that. The last time it was the M5's turn when I had the rod bearings replaced. This time it's about the M5 again. As you might have heard or seen in the podcast video, I mentioned that I have sold the M5 to a collector from Germany, and yeah, I thought it's time maybe to talk about the cost of ownership. As you know, as you have heard and read everywhere, it is super expensive to run this car. Yeah, let me give you my take on it. First of all, maybe a few words again why I'm selling the M5. I thought after 5 years it's time maybe to look for something else, especially since it is becoming more and more difficult in the future for let's say cars like these. I mean, cars like this one, they are impossible already. Nobody's going to build any new M5s, I mean V10s, and yeah, the particulate filters, downsizing of the engines, it's difficult to be a petrolhead. That's at least how I feel, or how I feel for now. Maybe in a few years we will be super happy with our electric cars. But until then, let me just give you a summary of the cost of running the M5 for 5 years. And we start in 2016, in February to be precise, when I bought the car. So when I had it taxed, by the way, there's one peculiarity in Switzerland, you might have heard about it. You can run 2 cars on one license plate, and you get only one set of license plates, so only one of them can be out on the streets at once. And this also means that they run on the same insurance policy, and you always insure just the more expensive car, and then you're covered. So in 2016 I already had a 130i that I mentioned in the review of the M5. So I paid some additional tax for the M5 because of its displacement and weight. By the way, in every canton, so a canton is something that I think relates to a state in other countries, as they have their own set of laws or variations of it. In the canton of Zurich, you tax displacement, engine displacement, and weight, total weight of the car. And the M5 with its 5-liter V10 is yes, quite a heavy weight, and then literally a heavy weight because it is a heavy car. So I paid 849 francs and 90 rappen. By the way, I will put a few overlays with approximate prices in euros, since there's not many other countries that work with Swiss francs. So let's continue with insurance. It was just 103 francs and 70 rappen on top of the policy that I had on the 130i already, and it's just the liability insurance. By the way, I don't know the exact terms, I hope it makes sense. So it was just the liability part, and then 40 francs for the Motorway Sticker, which relates to, I think in other countries you have the motorway tolls, you have toll booths and everything. In Switzerland we have this Motorway Sticker. Without it you cannot, or you should not, drive on the motorway. If you get caught, it's I think a fine of 250 francs or something like that. So better to avoid. I think now we come to the interesting part: service and repairs. That is interesting because in 2016 by the way, when I bought the car, it had, as I find, these ugly black BMW badges, and I had them replaced as quickly as possible. So that was 194 francs 14. By the way, I think the prices are going to be rather high because I brought them to the official BMW dealer, or actually it's BMW Switzerland that was running that shop back then. And I thought I'd do that just to have a clean history for the car, and it should make it easier to sell later on, which I hope paid out. So then we move on, the handbrake, to have it, how do you call that? I mean, for the old ones, the mechanical ones, just to fix it, let's say. And then the servicing for the brake fluids, which was 146 and 59 Rappen. In total, 454.40. That was my first visit to the friendly BMW guys. Then the next one was a bit more expensive, and it was mostly, I think, for vanity actually, because there was also a hideous black badge on the steering wheel. It was glued on top of it. I tried to scrape it off, which wasn't turned out rather ugly. And I asked if they could replace the badge, and they said of course not. So that was a new airbag unit, which in total was 989.11. And then I had the interior, the aluminium, what are they called? What's the name of those? I mean, they don't do anything, they just look nice, and you can have them in other materials as well. These are aluminium, and they were 263 and 7 Rappen. And in total, this was 1,352 francs 35. Now, let's look at it in the context of the entire year. So we had 4,092 francs and 35 Rappen, which means that's 409.25 a month. The reason I'm doing this is, if you compare it, because I mean, I think most people, or at least that's what I do their budgets on a monthly basis. So I think it helps for everybody to make their comparison. By the way, there's 1,300 francs is from the parking. So if you have your own parking, or you have your own garage or anything, then of course you won't have these costs. If you work on your car by yourself, you won't have those costs. If you do not buy original BMW parts, then those costs will also be lower. So yeah, this is really rather high, I think. So yeah, in total 405.25 a month in the first year. Let's move on to 2017. The tax was 1,438. So this is the M5 plus 40 francs for the license plate that was on the 130i. So this is sort of a fee for having two cars with one number plate. Then again, 534.50 for the insurance, again just liability, 40 francs for the motorway sticker, and then 60 francs for the what we call periodische Fahrzeugprüfung, and this equates or translates roughly to periodic vehicle inspection. You have to do this on used cars or every 2 years in theory. So yeah, they check if your car is still roadworthy. Then I have 2,563 francs 30 in service and repairs. And the thing is, I don't have a document for those, so if I can find one, I will put it in voiceover now. I found that document, and it turns out it was a pretty extensive service. So engine, gearbox and LSD, so with oil and spark plugs and everything. And in addition to that, the fan for the fresh air and the heating system in the cabin was replaced. And yes, this was in total 2,563 francs and 30 Rappen. Yeah, almost like a Lamborghini. I'm just saying that without ever seen a bill for
a Lamborghini. But yeah, if you know something, please share and compare and see how close this BMW M5 is to a Lamborghini. Yeah, Huracan, for example, or a Gallardo. Okay, let's go back now.
Okay, so I hope you heard what it was. I hope I was able to find all that stuff. Then yeah, parking is the same, and we have a total of 6,135.80 for the year 2017, or 511.35. By the way, in 2017 was also in June 2017 when we got the VW Touran that I did a review on. But yeah, we didn't share. The M5 and the Touran didn't share any costs so far, and it looks like they won't in the future. Then let's move on to 2018. The 130i was sold by then, so it's just 1,388 Swiss francs. For the road tax, 534 insurance, liability only again, and 40 francs for the motorway sticker. Now we have an interesting section with the service and repairs in 2018. So the first one was I had the battery replaced because the car was not being driven much and the battery was getting weaker, so I had it replaced at BMW, and that was 490.80 Rappen. Yes, it is expensive, very expensive battery. If you do not care about selling your car, maybe for the battery it even doesn't matter that much if it's a third-party battery, because it's not like BMW is producing them themselves. Yeah, just get it done somewhere else and save a ton of money. Then the next one was in September. I had it at BMW again for the brake fluid service, and then they saw that the clicker for the rear. I forgot literally every single English word. So it's about when you open the boot, about that, the hatch. I really don't know how to call it. I cannot recall any better word. So yeah, you know what I mean. The clicker to open the hatch. Actually, it was the ceiling that was not. It was not sealing properly anymore, so they had that replaced. It was 124, and in total 299.30. And then, funnily enough, not a month later, I had to go again because for the first time the car, something went wrong, and you heard it in the review. It was the throttle control unit that had gone bust, which was 1,827 francs and 71 Rappen for the work and the parts. So in total, it was 1,972.65. Yeah, all in all, still one of the, let's say, cheaper engine problems. So yeah, Vanos should be more expensive. Yeah, if the rod bearings go bust, then your entire engine might break. So yeah, all in all, maybe not too bad. And then parking, same again. And this totals to 6,695.5 or 05 for 2018, which is 557.95 per month. Now, if we tot that up, we arrive at 16,923.20 or 497.75 per month after 3 years. Then 2019, a bit of a mystery again. So road tax, now M5 and M2 together, which I got by the end of 2018. That was 1,553. Now nothing for the insurance, literally zero, because the insurance is on the more expensive car, which is the M2 competition. 40 francs for the motorway sticker. And now I have 966.25 for the service, the regular service with fluids and oil and filters and everything. Again, parking the same. This totals to 4,109 francs 25 or 392.45 per month. In total, 21,032 francs 45 or 457.25 over 4 years. In 2020, road tax now back to 1,438, M5 and M2 again together. And this is the M5's cost because the M5 is more expensive to tax. Nothing for the insurance again. 40 for the motorway sticker, 60 for the periodic vehicle inspection, and then 3,000 francs for the rod bearings, for new rod bearings. Parking again, and then we have a total of 6,078 francs for in 2020, or 566.50 per month. Again, the accumulated total is 27,110 or 467.45 per month over 5 years. Now it's 2021. The cars are taxed again at 1,438, nothing new there. 40 francs for the motorway sticker. Nothing in service and repairs, and I hope this won't change until the car is gone. And then the parking for 4 months until the end of April. And we arrive at 1,988 or 455.50 per month after or just in 2021. Now, if we total this up, we arrive at 29,068 francs and 10 rappen, or 484.50 per month over 5 years. Now, yeah, there's quite a few costs there that, I mean, the one that hurts me most, I think, is the parking. If you deduct that one, you arrive at 350 francs and 15 rappen, which is considerably less. And again, if you do your own repairs, and if you buy non-original BMW parts, you will bring those costs down. Of course, if you drive more, then those costs might go up again because wear and tear, right? One more thing, I didn't include depreciation for 2 reasons. One reason is I also didn't say anything about how much I bought the car for and how much I sold it for. So I cannot talk about depreciation, but I also can say that the prices don't go down anymore. So I think you will from now on, or what was it, from 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not sure, you're paying collector's prices. I mean, it's not that it's hundreds of thousands of Swiss francs. It's just you do not pay its actual value anymore. So what can I say? Again, I think parking is the one that hurts me most. Other than that, I think mine has been kind to me, has been running well, and except for the throttle control unit and the fan that went other than the fan, nothing went broken. So I'm quite happy with my experience with the M5. It was not cheap, but I am happy I had it, and I'm happy somebody else is going to have fun with it now. That was quite a lot. If you have questions, if you have comments, let me know. Write a comment, leave an email. I'd love to discuss these topics with you. And this is also something that I think I could bring up in the next Petrolhead talk. Let's see if you have some input for it. Thank you very much for listening, and see you soon when either there's a new car or a new review or a new Petrolhead talk. Thank you very much. Bye guys.